It's a pretty fine sprint.
It's a good race, Mike. The Missile Stakes was introduced by the Sydney Turf Club as recently as 1978, and the first one was won by that good mare Idol. Subsequent winners have been Salam, Macho. The race wasn't run in 1981, and then we had Razor Sharp, Nordic Prince, Young Blood, and then came the most controversial Missile Stakes in history. Do you remember the day the barrier stalls bogged down on the Quagmire track over there in the back straight, and they started the race by flag? Plus Vite was the winner, starting at 100 to 1. I think he won only one more race after that in Melbourne on one occasion. But it certainly brought the stipendiary stewards under tremendous fire at the time, and it was one of the most controversial happenings in Sydney racing in the last 10 years. Last year, the Missile was won by Row of Waves. Traditionally, we don't seem to get a lot of runners in this race. This year is no exception, and we've got a couple of them resuming after spells, including Riverdale. What a great horse he's been. Winner of an Epsom, winner of an Ampol Stakes and a Gosford Cup. Old Manuan, who needs no introduction. He's the veteran of the field, a 9-year-old. And the little mare, Shankhill Lass, who's resuming after a spell, but looks to have furnished and grown a good deal. Gee, it's an interesting race, Ray.
John, not a lot of quantity there, but certainly a touch of quality. Let's check the tape board from the top. Riverdale at 15 to 2, Manuan at 14 to 1, High Signal at 5 to 2, disputing favouritism with Shankhill Lass. Excuse me, Noble Roman at 15 to 2, Max Treasure 25 to 1, Shankhill Lass at 2 to 1, Barloo at 9 to 2, and Hater Prince at 25 to 1. Tappy on looks, if you had to back one, it'd be Barloo, Kenny Callender's selection.
Yeah, racy little mare, and she's going to be very hard to beat. She's race fit. She has the speed to be near the lead all the way in this 1,100-metre scamper. And Ken might be right on the ball. Bruce Compton has the mount. He won the previous race on Sound of Bells. Max Treasure obviously getting ready for an easier race than this. This is not his cup of tea. Shankhill Lass has done a great job. She's won $239,000 in only 18 starts so far. But the great money spinners are old Riverdale and Manuan. Between them, they've won more than $1 million. They're racing in the Missile. Shankhill Lass missed it by about 3/4 of a length and is back last when they get going. And Barloo bounded out in front of Noble Roman, who's going straight to the lead, and they've scooted away clear of Manuan, followed by High Signal, and then Max Treasure, and getting well back on settling down, Hater Prince. Shankhill Lass improving now to be third last, and Riverdale can't go the pace. He's last of all. Now Noble Roman's in front by 1.5 lengths or a length on Barloo, getting closer. Manuan stays within touch of them as they near the turn. About 2 lengths away then came Max Treasure, followed by High Signal and Shankhill Lass. Hater Prince second last, and Riverdale can't stay in touch as they turn for home. Into the straight on the heavily bandaged Noble Roman just led. Barloo's about to pounce on him. 2 lengths away Manuan, followed by Max Treasure, and Shankhill Lass and High Signal further out. Shankhill Lass starting to wind up at the 200 mark. Barloo the leader. Old Manuan's the first to go after it, and Shankhill Lass down the outside. What a race it is. It's Shankhill Lass. Shankhill Lass on the extreme outside, grabbing the lead in the shadows of the post. She's a great little mare. Shankhill Lass came away to win. Manuan or Riverdale for second. Did you see Riverdale come home? And then Barloo, Noble Roman, High Signal, they all went over the line in a big heap. Max Treasure right on their heels, and last of all is Hater Prince. But there was very little between the whole lot of them as they went over the line. A great race, and Shankhill Lass has come back better than ever, as Mick Dittman said she had. Mick is under suspension. His appeal was thrown out, and he couldn't ride Shankhill Lass today, and I read it was a bitter disappointment to him, and a lucky ride it was for Johnny Marshall. As I mentioned just before they jumped, she's won $239,000. You can add another $18,600 to that in only 19 race starts. She's by Star Way, out of Paddy's sister, trained by Tommy Smith and ridden by Johnny Marshall, who doesn't ride a lot for the TJ Smith stable, but I guess with Dittman out and other top riders unavailable, Peter Cook is out, of course, on the injured list, and they say he'll be out for 6 months or more. Johnny Marshall gained the ride. Now look at this for a bunch of horses. Now Riverdale is still in last place on the right-hand side of your screen, but he's only 3.5 lengths from the leader, and watch him start to motor now, the old boy. Shankhill Lass got to the lead near home over Manuan, Barloo, Noble Roman. Look at the one over on the rails in the yellow, Hater Prince, getting onto their heels with nowhere to go. Max Treasure has run probably last in the race and only 3.5 lengths from the winner. So you could find the form works out a little bit topsy-turvy, but all honours with the winner, who'll improve a ton. Let's see what Kenny Callender's got to say about race 7, the Dow Corning Handicap.
The second leg of the Daily Double, race 7, is one of the trickiest races on the program. The horse I'm going for is TAB number 6, Kutzbar. Now, on his old form, Kutzbar is thrown into a welter with only a kilogram over the limit, and this is a very weak welter. The fly in the ointment is that Kutzbar hasn't been going that good of late, except last Saturday, that is, because last Saturday he rattled home when third to 4 Papa over 1,600 metres at Warwick Farm. There's no horse as good as 4 Papa against him today, and the extra 400 metres will improve Kutzbar like a bit of cream does some nice peaches. I think he can win today. TAB number 6, Kutzbar, in race 7.
Good on you, Ken. Thank you very much. There's the winner being escorted back to scale now by the clerk of the course. Those colours years ago were the colours of the Leviathan bookmaker Ken Ranger, who raced a lot of horses during his bookmaking life. Red, white sleeves, white cap, and they're now the property of the people that own Shankhill, Lass, Measures, Rogers and Twig. Back for race 7 live at 5 to 4. Right now, this break on Wide World.